Good morning. I didn't look at the time and I sat down and I started cleaning my glasses. So, that was a choice I made. Now I can't see chat. Hi.
Oh. Hi.
You know, when you haven't done a stream in a while, you don't clean your glasses as much. So they're extra bad.
I'll take that when you're done.
Here you go.
Haley says, can't believe Stephen would make Mount work like this.
With dirty glasses?
Speaking of making Mal work, at 1 p.m. today, we'll be returning to Pikmin. Also, chat's not on screen. Let me fix that for you. There we go. Now, I don't know how much Pikmin.
Yeah.
Like, we promised 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if there's 2. So, like, just a little bit.
Just 1. We'll pick 1 min up.
That's what they're called, usually, is min. There's a bunch of alerts. I will read them to you. We got 61 months from Mech Mayhem, which means that we are now in the land of 61.
Mr. Deathcast.
2-1. And then do a Q&A. 40 months at Tier 3, Subby from Arpiga. Arpiga, thank you. 13 months from Cavebed, 11, 59 from Kiwi Scipio, 47 from NG Bin, 22 from Nintendo Nitwit. Well, let's play a video game.
From Koei Tecmo, a hybrid stealth and MMORPG game set in Raccoon City.
I mean, Resident Evil MMO.
Mm-hmm.
You could make that work.
Yeah.
And it would have, there's elements of stealth anyway. Yeah, that doesn't sound unreasonable. Leon, help! 1050 from Anise. Rad, give us more game suggestions, please. Just keeping up the hype for Extra Life. So on that note, Steven, do you know exactly how much money you have raised so far? Or is it just a ballpark figure? No, we have the exact amount. It's like 3,300, I think. 3,255. Yeah, it is on the Extra Life page.
I still need to look at the games.
Yeah. I'm filling them out.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
I think one of mine is going to stay the same because we played the other one. And then I'm going to pick a GameCube game for the other.
Yeah, Lindsay gave me her games last night. I have to update them. Put them on the list. But like half of everyone has done it. Yeah. Alex is full of crap.
Morning, Josh.
Oh, and Ace wants to know in total. Which... Sorry, I'm only just now waking up. That question is way more reasonable and makes way more sense. Yeah, I actually do. We're at... It's 550,000. There is a little more specificity to that. Let me see if I can tell you the exact number.
Do they have that for you?
They do,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm curious if it's on mobile. Let me see if it's on mobile, because when I log in to Extra Life, it gives me a very, very specific number. And, well, I think it will. This page ain't it. Hold on. Is it this one? Is it this page? No. Why is it that when they're making a website, they make the
Website so differently on mobile versus desktop?
They make the mobile version basically bad.
Yeah.
And, like, this is far
eBay
from
is
the...
that way. There are things missing on mobile eBay that are not... that I use frequently on eBay desktop.
This is far from the worst mobile version for a site I've ever seen. Like, I've seen some really bad stuff.
Quick talk about Fabric. Haley did talk about Fabric last Thursday, and she had a fabric, and she made me something with that fabric, and it's great.
Anyway, I can't find the exact number, but it's like 550. I mean, at this point, with the extra 3,000 from this year, it's probably like 553,000, something like that. It's like close to that. So it is. That's I guess that's a ballpark, but that's a ballpark within $1,000. So it's really close.
Was it the peach skin? I don't remember what it was called.
Anyway, remind me on another day.
ITY, that was the fabric.
ITY. Let's keep reading alerts. We got 61 from Marvel 410, 21 from Jet, 35 from J Linebeck, 34 from Cody the Positron, 37 from Justin the Light, 16 from Sacadamus, 39 from Elfie Goldfish, 60 from Hound Flash. Congrats on the 5. Anise gifted a sub to Yamadorgon. We got 300 bits from Jet. Says, Steven, I realized I never finished my story of my KC weekend in the Waffle House. I never ended up eating there. It was closed.
What?
So I drove to the gas station where the clerk informed me that earlier in the day somebody had literally died in the Waffle House. Oh. Well... Yeah, perfect music. I guess that is a reason that one may not eat in the Waffle House. There are many different ways someone could die in a Waffle House. It's an eclectic list. My condolences to that person's family. We got 350 bits from Radio Dread. Says, throwing a clown onto the train just to see what he does. Don't blame me. Blame the clown. Clowns can stop trains. They could have died of happiness. Haley. 300 from Satsy. Throwing a clown off the train just to see what will happen. They bounce right off. They have padding. You know, they have the nose. Their whole body is squeaky. They're thrown from a moving train. Yeah. They're thrown from a moving train.
Oh, to be a ghost haunting a Waffle House.
Also 300 from Jet says, don't know exactly what happened, but someone dying in Waffle House rivals Golden Corral. I mean, I'm sure people have died in Golden Corrals, and people die everywhere. I don't know what the statistics are. I feel like more people have died in Waffle House than Golden Corral, but I'm not sure. You can't quote me on that. I'm not entirely certain.
Chaz said clowns make an awful sound when they land, though.
You
You ever seen the video of, like, the bin of, like, rubber chickens?
Yes.
And someone pushes on all of them at once?
Yeah, it's both wonderful and terrifying.
Yes.
It's a terrible video, but it's so good. I know exactly what you're talking about. Wee Ryan gifted 5 subs. Teresa 001, Bacon Bit 87, Night City, Konosuga, and Kerbeb. Wee Ryan, thank you. Appreciate that this morning. We also got 34 months from Nomi Bookworm, 43 from Shadowlands, 54 from Wildfire, 37 from the Super Thingamabob, 52 from Luna Boy, 41 from Olad. 300 bits from Will Peters who says, we're leaning into the millennial angst of the property rather than fine-tuning this for kids. It'll focus on some of the trials and tribulations of being thirsty something.
30.
Thirsty something is very different. 30 something. Yeah. Growing up with Barney, just the level of disenchantment within the generation. Sorry, I just read thirsty something. Sometimes you are thirsty something. This is, I think, a quote from... They're making a movie where Barney kills people, I think.
Yes.
Which, you know... We already had Gritty Barney movie with Robin Williams. Death to Smoochie.
Oh, yeah.
So we already had something like that. Now we have more. Also, at the very end of Jane Austen's Mafia, Barney is stabbed with a harpoon. Where was I? 61 months from Spiffla. Thank you, I needed that knowledge. 300 from the Thrill of it says, fell asleep listening to Pikmin 4 LP and had a dream I crashed on your couch and Kepler was snoozing on my side. It was a little weird, but cute. Kepler was great. Actually, so last night I woke up, I went to bed pretty early last night, like 10:30. I was tired, went to bed, I woke up at 1:30, and when I woke up, I was super hot. And when I woke up, Kepler had been sleeping on my chest. And I had to kick him off of my chest and be like, I can't do this. Like, too hot, little guy. And he was very briefly offended.
Yeah, he would be.
He was kind of like...
How dare
okay.
you move him?
And like, I was like, you're welcome to sleep on the bed. You can curl up to my legs, but you cannot be on my chest. That's so hot. Morning, Josh.
I had my door shut, but also I was not tired until like 3:34, so.
You went to bed at 3:34?
Mm-hmm. Between 3:30 and 4. Not ideally.
It's 3:34. That is pretty. I mean, especially considering I went to bed 5 hours.
Yeah.
Earlier. You're just not tired.
I have not been sleeping well. It's real uncomfortable.
I would have assumed that because you haven't been sleeping well, that would make you tired sooner. But your body has been in a very strange state.
Yeah, Josh. I thought about that when I responded to that message. I was like, Josh is still awake. Response.
I mean, so Mao has been unable to get quality sleep for a bit. So yesterday made 2 weeks since the surgery. And you're not... I mean, so at the beginning... So the first week, you couldn't even sleep longer than 3 hours if you wanted, because that was how often you were getting meds.
Yeah.
Now Mao has moved completely to a as-needed basis on all of her meds, which is great.
And
so
I last took any meds on Saturday night.
So you haven't taken meds in like 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like that's cool that you're there, that you're doing that. That's neat. But even though you're off of meds and you're off of that schedule, your body can't sleep.
No.
Like you can only get a few hours
I'm
of sleep.
very uncomfortable sleeping how I have to sleep right now.
Because you're sleeping on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't be comfortable till you can sleep on your side, you think.
Uh-huh.
But that's going to be several more weeks.
Yeah. One of the problems is when I sleep on my side, you kind of crunch your shoulders in. That hurts. That's a mistake.
Okay.
And like I can't sleep on my side, but like if I'm like twisting a little bit, like I want to be able to put my arm here, and like I did that for a little bit, and then that hurt, and I woke up and I was like, ooh, that was bad. Got to keep those shoulders open. So.
I'm sorry. And because there is no solution.
Yeah.
It's just, I have to endure this for several more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That sucks. We got 300 bits from Ultra Husk who says, may I request some good vibes for my brother and I? We are both dealing with COVID, and it is decidedly not a good time. Good vibes. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like, it's never a good time.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is like, this is a bad time. So good vibes. I hope that it is quick. Hope you get over it very, very fast. We got 33 months from One Weird Cat, 58 from Missing No Leader 6 from Strawberry Hearts. 30 bits from Jay Lineback says recently 100%ed Pikmin 4, which surprised me as I very rarely 100% games. As a big Pikmin 2 fan, I really loved 4, and I'm interested in speedrunning it sometime. It's, everything that we've played so far has been great. I'm excited to play some of it again.
I'm looking forward to finishing it so that I can play it again at my own speed.
Yeah, which is what you did for 3. I mean, and also you went back and played 1 and 2, so...
Thank you, Josh. Please do. You, Haley, and Noah have been sending me TikToks.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be awake...
Yeah.
Might as well be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Dan
sends them too.
That's been one of the... That's actually was a big conversation that we had yesterday, is that Mao has had a very hard time staying entertained.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't seem to get into anything.
Yeah, which is probably partially, like, sleep, but also, like,
Yeah.
I'm bored to tears on the couch.
Yeah. But we played through, speaking of Donkey Kong, we played through Tropical Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nearly. We haven't beat the final boss. That's the last thing we're on. And, that has went well. So I feel like, to an extent, part of Mao's boredom is that she seems to do well when there's other people around to, like...
Decide.
Yeah.
And they want to do something, so I'm like, ooh, I want them to be happy.
Like, last night, we went over to Alex and Haley's and had dinner, and while we were over there, Alex and Haley were like, oh, let's play Puyo Puyo Tetris. And, like, that, Mao enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun.
But trying to, like, start something yourself, like start a game here, has been really hard.
Or when people have YouTube videos they're interested in, like, Haley's and I have been watching this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
With this lady that grooms cats and dogs, and it's been great. And then, like, Brandon was over on Sunday and was like, let's watch these videos of these people who do live translation. Like, and they talked about differences in translating for, like, heads of state. You
seem to do well if the entertainment's being chosen for you.
Yeah.
But the act of, like, getting started on something is hard.
Yeah.
So I came up with the conclusion yesterday that Mao would play through, like, a longer narrative game, but needs someone to sit with her while she gets started. And I don't know if that's...
That would probably help.
I don't know if that's true, but that was my thought. It was like, well, what if I sit with you like I did for Tropical Freeze, but you start a narrative game, and then, you know, once you start to get into it, you'll be able to play it on your own. So I bought the PS5 version of Persona 5 Royal.
Oh, you did? I was dealing with a computer issue, so I didn't know that happened.
Pork.
Yeah, because I've thought ever since I played it that Mao would like Persona 5. I only played like an hour. I only played enough to get, like, lost in the subway system. Mm-hmm. And we have Persona 5, but since I've played Persona 5,
there's a lot of new Persona 5?
They added a bunch in that game, in the Royal version. And I was like, okay. So I ordered that, and I'll just set the PS5 up downstairs. And you can play it. And more importantly, I'm going to like sit with you at the beginning of the game, which is the part that I've played,
mm-hmm.
and then hopefully you'll latch on and it'll be something you'll be like, oh, I'm getting into the story, and then you'll have a desire to play through it. But we'll see. It's not even guaranteed that that'll work, but
no.
But we'll see.
It's just hard because going in the car is difficult.
Yeah.
Going anywhere in the car is difficult. Like, we went to Alex and Haley's yesterday, and, like, if there hadn't been a break between going there and coming home, like, if we had just ran over there for 5 minutes, that would have been rough. and I can only walk half a mile because I'm miserable with like how I feel, but also like my physical limitations right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, someone was asking about the PS4 version versus the PS5 version. The only reason I ended up getting the PS5 version is because if you don't already have the PS4 version, the PS5 version is a superior version, but they are almost identical. I think the PS4 version runs at 4K 30 and the PS5 version runs at 4K 60 or something like that. Like they're almost identical games.
Noah says there's more characters and more story.
Yeah, but that's for Royal.
Oh.
The Royal version of PS4 and the Royal version
see.
of PS5. But since I didn't own the Royal version of PS4, I decided to get the Royal version of PS5 since we didn't have that. And I was like, well, if Mao plays this and ends up liking it and wants to like enjoy it, might as well play everything the game has to offer. And like one of the thing about Persona 5 is the people that like Persona, they really like Persona. They're
They
like
sure do.
They're like the Xenoblade people. Like both of those groups of people are like, they foam at the mouth. They really love the game. And like that's not a bad thing. Like don't take that as a bad thing. Like there's groups of people that like specific games and like what they really like it. And there's a reason they like it. It's because it's fun and enjoyable. So if you latch onto it, then you may also really like it. So what happens when you like both series? It's just a lot of fun. Me, but Octopath. Octopath is an interesting one. I really love the look of it. I'm glad more games are doing that 3D pixelated thing. Imagine being a Xenoblade person. Gross. Haley only plays Xenogears. We had 36 months from Empire Builder 19. This is a 3. 9 months from Samurai Master, 10 months from Duke Do, 23 from Zach Lumberjack, 24 from Handzone Mama. That's a 2. 500 Bits from Cheesehammer says, so I read about some guy who calls himself Stephen King. And I have questions. How did he get this job? Are you anywhere in line to be the king of the Stephens? Do you have to do whatever the Stephen King says? Or is he just a figurehead king? I'm so confused. I do have to do whatever Stephen King says. Fortunately, he hasn't put out any official decrees in a long time. And I'm just kind of hoping that he doesn't.
From Maine.
Yeah.
His kingdom. Mm-hmm.
The kingdom of Maine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh used to be a loyal subject, but then was given permission to leave the kingdom. We also had 3 months from Lucas Tworka. Thank you. Your recovery is going well.
Yes. I don't want people to think that's not it, because I'm doing very well.
Your recovery's going well.
It's
However,
also faster than most people from what I've been reading.
Yeah. Mal's been, like, talking to me about the recovery process and how others have dealt with the recovery process. And it's pretty clear to me that you're recovering much more quickly. Yeah. For whatever reason.
Haley says you're just at the frustration stage where you're better but not better enough. Yes. Yeah.
And I sympathize with you because that sucks. Because I know that it's very hard to like stay focused on anything, and you can't sleep. Mm-hmm. And like there's all of these problems, and even though you're getting better, it's just not where you want to be yet.
Yeah, like I was gonna play a Switch game yesterday, and I put it in the Switch, and I sat down, and then my Joy-Con kept disconnecting, and I played all of 5 minutes before I was frustrated and not interested in what was happening because I was missing cutscenes trying to deal with the Joy-Con disconnecting. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And like I'll scroll through like streaming, and I'm like, none of this sounds fun. So and like even if I was physically capable of doing anything, like I don't even know what I would do.
I mean, you're finally off of the narcotic, and your brain works well enough to follow plot.
Yes.
And like that's good, but then you have to find something that actually is Like, if you wanted to watch a movie, you'd have to figure out what that is. You'd probably do better if someone else chose the movie for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched Amelie.
Yeah, we did do that on
Saturday. Yep. Haley says your frustration tolerance is low.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. A movie? I really enjoyed watching Amelie on Saturday. It was really nice. I loved the idea of just like on a Saturday afternoon, let's just watch a movie. I would do that again in a heartbeat. I just have to pick like another film. Amelie was definitely a decision. That was one that you picked, really.
That was because lately, whenever I've been over at Triforce House or Alex and Haley's, and I'm like, they have keyboards, I'm like, I should play something on the keyboard, and I have that sheet music on my phone. So I'll pull it up and I'll work on it, because we don't have our keyboard here or set up. I think it's at your parents'. And then I was like, oh, this would be nice to watch again. And I think I was talking to you about it, how it's been a long time, and I was explaining to Brandon what the song was, and I was like, you've never seen this? Because it's French and he's fluent, so I was like, this is like one of the more famous French films that came to the US.
Yeah, Amelie is extremely good. Like, I didn't remember anything about the movie at all other than the color. And rewatching the film was very cool because it was even more striking than I remembered it was.
Who at
but also it was
Triforce House
funny.
plays keyboard? Mostly Brandon. Dan can. I think it is Dan's keyboard.
Dan plays keyboard?
I think it's Dan's keyboard.
I don't think Dan can play the keyboard.
Piano? Keyboard?
Yeah, I don't think he...
I think it's Dan's.
Okay.
And I mean, Brandon was percussion boy, but he mostly played, like, marimba, xylophone, those style instruments for percussion. Quick, Josh, wake up Dan and ask him. It's definitely Dan's, Josh says.
I mean, in fairness, like, I also own a keyboard and can't play keyboard, so maybe Dan is in a similar situation where Dan just owns an instrument that he can't play. I mean, maybe he can play it. I've never seen Dan play keyboard.
Didn't he have one in college like you both did?
Alex had one. Alex had a keyboard.
Yeah, he has one now. It's in his office.
And I had a keyboard.
That's what I go play sometimes when we're over there.
Dan plays guitar. Dan plays bass. Mm-hmm. Dan has like one of those little electronic lap drums.
Josh says he was gonna sell it, but I set it up for my brother to play when he was here, and it stays up, and Brandon plays it regularly. Yeah, it's right next to their kitchen table.
Okay. Neat. I don't think I've ever seen Dan play a keyboard. Of course, no one has ever seen me play keyboard.
Yeah.
And I own a keyboard, so but I also can't play the keyboard. I just own one. There was a period of time where I had a lot of fun hooking a keyboard up to GarageBand and just doing samples and stuff. I thought that was enjoyable. I did that in college. But I haven't really touched it since. Anyway, 53 months from Spin a Trap, 40 from Akira Dre, and 33 from CD Chow.
Renee says, I forget you play guitar sometimes. You're good. You played it for a very long time.
Yeah, I can play the guitar.
Yeah.
It's not something I do terribly often, but if I have I can't read music, but I know chords, so if there's chords, I can be yeah, I can play a song. That's
You're good at hearing it and figuring it out too. Playing by ear.
Yeah, I mean, I can figure things out. I'm not as skilled as a musician would be.
Yeah.
But
the music
but
people
I can
of
figure
TRG are very talented.
Yeah, they are. They're
I cannot play by ear at all. Like, I will sit there and I will hit every key in, like a C to C and be like, which one of these is it? And I will never get it. I know it's in there, but even if I play every key, I won't hear it and know which one it is.
Need a harmonica player. The two instruments that I would love to play most in my entire life is banjo and harmonica. And when I was young, I actually had several, like, Hohner harmonicas. They're probably still at my parents' house. And it's such a great instrument, but it's like you have to put time and effort into things you want to get better at. And at some point you have to you can't do all things. Mm-hmm. Banjo and harmonica, because you want to be that boy in Deliverance. I guess I just think that those are the two most, like, interesting sounding instruments. Mm-hmm. I love those. I mean, there's other instruments I like that sound interesting. The accordion sounds really great, but
so, like, I can play clarinet and I can read treble clef.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't just play a song. I have to read the music and play it. But see, it's like the difference of being able to follow a recipe versus, like, throw ingredients into a bowl and make something.
Yeah.
I'm more fluent in, like, cooking than music.
I mean, I'm jealous of the ability to read music. Because, like, that's... Like,
I know
that's a cool skill.
But I have to really think, and, like, almost every note I have to be like... C, D, E, F, G. I'm real bad at bass clef.
It's not like I'm too old to do a thing. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that that's even a real phrase. Like, you can always do whatever you want. But, I am definitely, I think, past the point of caring. So, like, I like music. I like playing guitar. I think it's fun. But, like, would I ever learn to read music at this point in my life? Like, almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Like, I haven't needed it up to this point. And would it be neat? I mean, yeah, it'd be neat, but, like, not enough to take away time from a million other things. Like, I'm just probably not gonna do it. Because, like, especially as an adult, you only have, like, so much time.
Yeah.
You realize how much time you had when you were young by the time you become an adult, because you're like, oh my god, there was, like, summers where, like, I didn't do anything. just woke up and, like, watched cartoons or whatever. So in order to have time for one thing, you have to remove time for other things, and, like, it's just a lot.
I feel like if I could just, like, gain any skill instantly, I'd want to pick another language.
And that's another example of, like, a thing that... It's not that I couldn't do it, but the amount of effort and time that it would take is just a huge turnoff. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like so many of my friends are learning Japanese. And, like, I'm very excited for everyone.
Chaz and I? Alex is working at it.
Yeah, Alex also is working on it. And, like, that's cool. But there's no part.
Haley's like, Alex? Well, sometimes he goes back to Spanish.
Thomas?
I haven't talked to Thomas about it. I didn't know Thomas was doing that.
Yeah, so, like, you know, it's one of those things, like, I have a lot of friends that are, like, they're doing the Japanese thing, and, like, that's super cool, but, like, I have no desire.
Yeah.
At all. Like, not even fleeting, just because I can already see the amount of effort that a language takes, and I'm like, I don't have time. Just don't have any time for that.
Thomas, you're 5 days ahead of me in a streak.
That's Intelligent One says, I want to know Japanese. I don't want to learn Japanese. There it is. When are we going to get the language pills? In the future, where you just, like, take a pill and you're just like, I know it. Coffee. That's it, because, like, it's just,
what, the fish from Hitchhiker's Guide?
It's just there's too much other things to do. I'm like, I can't. I have other things I want to work on that are more important. So you have to choose what's important.
Yeah. I've been doing Duolingo for Japanese, and it's changed since I last did it. But wherever I'm at, I'm still on like the first page because now there's like pages, and then you go down like the thing. I haven't learned anything new yet. Because it's all stuff I remember from high school. So like there's been nothing new, which is good because it's just a good refresher.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to like overwhelm myself with too much knowledge at once where I forget a new word or something. So soon there will be new stuff.
My God, this song. Mean Dean 12 gifted a sub to Charlie 12 years old. Mean Dean, thank you. 2 months from Chris F22, 38 from Starry Knox, 300 from Jet Jet says, every good boy deserves fudge.
That's treble clef lines.
I learned, so my mom plays piano.
Yeah.
Like very well.
Yes.
And when I was very young, she did teach me music. Mm-hmm. And also, like, I don't know if they still do it nowadays, but when I was in elementary school, they taught the elementary school kids, like, music.
So
that was part of it.
Recorder in
Yeah, you learned recorder.
4th grade, and we had keyboard in 5th grade.
Yeah.
But also 5th grade was the year my school started band. So that's when I started clarinet.
I also, like, you had to learn music to some extent as a child, but, like, only enough to get vaguely familiar with it, and then it's never required ever again, and I just, like, didn't do it. It's fine. And I didn't pick up guitar until I was in 7th or 8th grade, maybe? Something like that.
Remember, Laura says we had chimes at my school, so we would be assigned notes, essentially. We had tone chimes, too. Like, it's a single note, and you would get, like, 2, and you would get the sheet music, and they would highlight which ones were yours. So you could start to learn to follow along with sheet music.
Yeah.
And the music teacher would, like, point, so you could start to be, like, to figure out that sort of thing. I really liked the tone chimes. For some reason, I got assigned the really high notes, so I had very few things to play, but it was like just like the last like ding ding.
I liked the recorder.
I hated recorder.
Well, I as someone who up to that point in my life had never played an instrument, the idea of playing an instrument was neat, but I already had my grandfather like desperately vying for me to play guitar, so that was probably settled no matter what.
Did you know I played viola? For a year? A single year?
I'm sure I knew that at some point.
When my parents got divorced, we went to a new school because my mom moved.
Yeah.
And they had a strings program. And I got signed up to play viola because it was violin, viola, and cello, and I liked the way the viola sounded best.
Yeah.
And because they were like, well, which one? And I'm like, And then we moved the next year. And when we moved again, then the school didn't have strings, so I didn't have an instrument.
They didn't have strings at all?
No.
Oh.
Strings is taught from early by a separate teacher than like woodwinds, brass, wind instruments. And then the school we moved to didn't have music or instruments until 5th grade. So I had 3rd grade, 4th grade, and then 5th grade I started clarinet.
See, but you played things because
In music class, yeah.
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 Well, you just had options. We
Yeah.
had recorder.
Yeah.
And we only had recorder for 1 year.
Yeah,
and
we
it
did
wasn't
too.
even a full year. It was like half a year. I don't know. I did enjoy music. Part of me thinks that if I would have gotten started on guitar earlier and had like some good teachers, then maybe I would have been more interested in like
Continuing music.
yeah, but I didn't, and the reason I stopped doing so much with guitar was I was starting to do more and more with video. It was like, it's just a time thing, you know? If everyone lived to be 800 years old, and there were 30 days in a week, and 400 hours in a day, like, then everyone could be an expert at everything, but like, until that happens, you kind of have to be selective about what you're doing.
Come here, buddy.
Good cat. We got 300 bits from Chill Days, who says, I played in a school orchestra and switched from baritone to tuba, so I switched from treble to bass clef, but I can't read bass clef, so I transcribed from treble to bass in my head while playing. So hard mode.
Come here. Hi, sweetheart.
You firmly believed in hard mode.
Do I get snuggles?
I love that.
I get snuggles. Lay down.
Good morning, little sir.
Hi, cutie. Good boy.
Baby. We also had 250 bits from ZFan86. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, we're snuggling. We're very happy. We're very happy.
So you had your door shut last night, so he wasn't in
did.
there? Okay.
Because when he wants to sleep on the bed with me, with how I've been sleeping, that the U-pillow, he sleeps right where my legs go.
Yeah.
And then I have to, like, sleep around him.
Which probably makes you even more uncomfortable.
Yeah, but he's so cute. So I just decided, because he wasn't downstairs when I went to bed. So I just closed the door.
Tired boy. Oh, he might have been on the bed with me.
Yeah, that's probably where he
by
was.
that point.
Liberty says he sees you have Nest and he wants Nest. If I'm getting ready for bed and he's like downstairs with me, he will crawl in the very center of the nest and that is his spot. And I can't lift him because he's over 5 pounds.
You're over 5 pounds?
Who's a big boy?
He says I'm actually 14 pounds.
If he was like 7, I'd pick him up.
So you could pick up half of
Half
Kepler.
of Kepi. Good boy.
Do you know how long your weight limit?
It's a month.
Oh, so you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodness, yawn. Time for bath. We had 140 bits from NBank72. Thank you, NBanks. Yeah. Oh, I did a thing. There's an art in the queue which reminded me. I don't know what that art is.
I think
But
it's that.
I'm assuming I can show it. Is what?
The thing you did.
Nope.
No? Okay.
It's not connected to art.
No, I know, but I'm
Oh.
saying maybe Chaz put that in the art queue.
Oh. I don't know. I'm going to click it. It's
Oh,
an
it is
art.
an art?
Yeah,
Okay.
he trusted me to do the thing, and I did do the thing. Let's look at this art. Ah. Big Feared Balloon is still doing Overlord art. Donate to Extra Life towards Overlord Dark Legend. Or an anime game. You can choose. With that, I made this. I hope this works. I tested it beforehand and it worked. Yeah, that looks
It
correct.
works.
So these are our totals. Let's take a look at our totals this morning. There's $210 in the roulette pool. 1,005 towards Mario Party 4. 1,000 towards Freddy Fish. 550 towards Mario Super Sluggers. 250 towards Digimon World 4. I can still remember trying to find that game.
Yeah. That was one of the last ones.
I still remember like looking around for that and trying to find that. I can remember that when we were on our road trip. $75 towards Pandora's Tower. 50 towards Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? 25 towards Amazing Island. So this is like top 7, I guess, just because I didn't crop out the bottom 3. So you get 7. You get to see the top 7.
I like seeing the top 7. It's a good number.
You get to see the top 7.
You can give Agumon a gun? Oh, I love that.
Wow. Wow.
Renee says, remember to start asking off if you want to spend the day with us.
It's a good idea. The event is October 28th. That's the last Saturday in October.
Chaz, can I have off?
I think we're
Can
gonna.
I have off Sunday too?
I think we're famously gonna need you to work that day. But yeah, it's always a fun time. I would definitely.
Josh says, speaking of guns, donate to Link Shotgun Training Part 2, please.
Josh had another great idea for his other game, and that was did the stream die?
It blipped.
Oh, it blipped. I don't know what y'all missed.
I asked Chaz for the day off. That's what you missed.
Yeah. Josh's other idea that he put on his list was Nintendo Land, and I was like, Nintendo Land.
We can play the Sweet, what's it, Sweet Day?
Yeah.
That one's my favorite.
It's also nice because Nintendo Land is a 5-player game. We will have 11 people with extra
And the Luigi's
life.
Mansion game for Nintendo Land is fun.
My favorite is Toad Time Run.
Oh,
Toad
yeah.
Time Run.
It's not Toad, it's Mario.
Yeah. Well, the Toads run also. Run
Yeah,
after
they do.
Mario. They, because I think Mario stole money from them. They're trying to, like, break his legs or something. So I'm excited about that.
What will be the game you play with everyone involved? It's hard to say yet. But
I mean,
normally,
none.
Yeah, there's no 11-player game, but...
Someone has been telling me that Family Feud is 10-player.
Okay.
So, since at least one person has to man the stream and
Is that
donations...
on anyone's list?
No.
Make that mine.
Okay.
Replace Iron Chef.
Don't tell me now. You gotta, like, write it down. You gotta write it in the
what
thing,
I'm gonna go do.
and I'll update it today because I have to update Lindsay, so I'll update yours, and then we'll have most people having a thing. Family Feud 2012 is 10 players. We can't have an 11-player game. We really ideally need someone.
2012?
AKHS.
13, 11?
2012.
12. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and Smash for Wii U will be available, obviously. So that's 8-player.
Stop awakening and start snacking with Tiny Eddie's mayonnaise frosted water pies.
Definitely Stop Awakening.
That is, mayonnaise frosted.
Water pies are a thing. It's
Water
basically
pies
just
are
a
a
lot
thing.
of sugar water. It was like a Depression-era dessert.
1050 from Nbanks, who says, officially been over 10 years since I've discovered you from playing Pikmin 2 with Chugga. Man, time flies. Also, first stream. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. And yeah, that was a while ago that I played Pikmin with Emil.
I remember when you filmed that. I also remember when you filmed, like, the bingo thing.
Yeah.
Was that 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was fun too because at the time I hadn't played Pikmin 2 and I hadn't played Pikmin 3 either. So like I think I was like the guest of all of Emil's guests that was very like I need to take this off the screen.
No, you don't.
I forgot it was there,
can
to be
see it.
honest. I just forgot.
Hi, sweetheart.
I think I was the guest that like didn't know the game very well.
Yeah, you hadn't played it yet.
A lot of times when people do things with Emil, they're really trying to like, they'll practice and they really want to be competent. And I'm just like, I don't care. It'll be fine. I think it's funnier if there's at least one person that's like, what is this? What am I doing?
Joke they want to have a totally normal person doing the Olympics alongside the athletes to compare.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah, I'm just like some guy.
Literally just some guy.
I'm literally just some guy. So, yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're here this morning, and I hope that you enjoy mayonnaise frosted water pies. I'm gonna guess that you don't.
You could make that though. Like you could make a water pie and then like take some mayo and whip it so it's like frosting.
I mean, I don't
think you would like it.
I don't like mayo
it.
enough to do such a thing, but someone could do it. Someone other than me. You could, but you shouldn't. 2 months from Broken Tripod Zero. Broken Tripod, thank you. It is wild that Extra Life is so close.
Coffee.
Like 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Is that true? 4 weeks from
Yeah.
Saturday?
It's 6 weeks from surgery, which is like recovery for me, which is why we planned that. I couldn't have gone any later in the month.
Yeah. 4 weeks from this weekend? Gracious.
Yeah.
What a fun time. How fun. How fun. Oh my goodness. Anyway. So the games that are on my list...
Chaz says, fun!
The games that are on my list are games that were there last year, and I decided to keep them the same since neither of them got played. And we'll see if they get played this time. Mm-hmm. Speed Zone is the 8-player Wii game, where it's a racing game, but it's split screen. And Pandora's Tower is a well-loved Wii game that was never re-released. So, Those are my picks. The reader from Dane says, my first LP video of yours I watched was the episode of Leaf Green where you caught Mewtwo. That was almost 15 years ago. Oh god time. Was it really? That couldn't have been that long ago.
Yeah, it can. It's very capable of being that long ago.
That's too long. I mean, it's still been a long time. It's been over 10. Like 11? Maybe like 11. Although at a certain point, it's just a long time ago. I think I did the Leaf Green Let's Play in 2013. Maybe 2012. So 2013. Okay, so 10 and a half years ago. I'm trying to think if there's some LP stuff I've done that was 15 years ago. Stephen Plays got started in 2011. So Stephen Plays is only at its oldest, like, or 2010. 2011. Yeah, 2011. So Stephen Plays at its oldest is only, I think, 12 and a half years ago.
Do you need someone to hold this for you?
I think so. I have videos older than that. I have gameplay videos that are that are much older than that. Because I had capture devices before YouTube was even a thing.
That's my hand. So
I have, I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're like on VHS or something. There's a game for PS2 called Magic Pen Gel, and I remember capturing some of that like a million years ago, and I wonder if I could ever find that. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Sure, we can roll beans. It can be bean time. Things that are happening today.
We're doing one Pikmin episode. Maybe two.
At 1 p.m. Eastern today, we're going to play Pikmin again. Because it's been a bit. So we're going to play Pikmin. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how many we can do. It might be just one.
We are under-promising. We're hoping to over-deliver.
We love over-delivering.
We don't know.
We love that. Over-delivering is great. So that's at 1 p.m. today. Be sure to check that out. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mao is streaming on her channel. And you're going to be cooking a thing?
We're going to make a sauce for ravioli. Because we need to eat, and we have ravioli. And we don't have any sauce for the ravioli.
So it's going to be a real simple...
Yep.
Real simple.
And you're going to take care of the ravioli, because I can't lift the stock pot to cook it in.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real easy day. Real easy day for streams. Light streams. Just because Mao is involved in all of the streams, so we're trying to keep the streams light.
Yeah.
As much as possible. But the fact that we get to play Pikmin at all is really good. And also probably good because I need to remember what we're doing and how you play the game. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be
totally fine. So, stream at 1 p.m. Stream at 7 p.m. on Mao's channel. Mao Makes. And then otherwise, I guess another reminder that September is still going on. We're getting close to the end here. And if you are interested in getting a multi-month resub, like if you're going to resubscribe for the next several months of the channel anyway, if you were planning to do that, you might as well do the multi-month resub because it saves up to 30%. It's the same thing, but you save 30%. And they only do it in September. So, yeah. Childesa says, the gift sub discount started yet. That actually starts today, I think at 1.
At 1 Eastern.
Yeah, so when Pikmin starts, starting from when Pikmin starts, and then from then, I think till the end of the month, gift subs are 25% off. So, yeah. That's also today. Otherwise, this is still available. The 5-year mug. It's in the store, StephenShop.com. You can get that for another week-ish if you are interested in that. I think that's most everything that we need to say.
Yeah. That's everything that I know of.
Probably. Sounds about right. We had 28 months from Miss Jackie Lynn. Thank you. And, yeah, I don't have any, despite the assurance that I gave Chaz yesterday, I don't actually have any vlogs ready to post. Because I spent the entire day yesterday scratching Kepler's chin. There was not a single moment. There wasn't a single
Give
moment
this cat
to do
whatever
it.
he wants.
That's what I've been
He
doing.
wants Scoop. He made us a checklist. It's like, hug the kepi, boop the kepi, scoop the kepi, that's it. Boop.
He's gotten everything he needs. Incredible. The reader from Shy says, these streams are going to are a bit too light. Going to need you to turn those lumen levels down a bit.
Yeah, they're a bit bright.
That's why we have to clean our glasses every time we sit here, because as soon as you're in front of too bright lights, you're like, oh, my glasses are gross.
Yeah.
You just can't tell until you get to that point. Okay. I think that's it. I don't think I have any other announcements. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you all for being here this morning. We appreciate you being here. I will have vlogs out at some point. It might be later today. But otherwise, join us today at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's in 3 hours. So join us 3 hours from now, and we will be back for Pikmin. See you then.